Hello, thank you for joining us on the Pigskin Preview. Alongside head coach of the Western Illinois football team, Bob Nielson, I'm Andrew Bacon. Coach, thanks for joining us again.
Thanks. Good to be here.
And then let's go ahead and let's get started here. Last weekend, the Leathernecks traveled to Normal, Illinois to take on the Illinois State Redbirds. Going into the game, the Leathernecks had just won against South Dakota, the Coyotes, while Illinois State were coming off a loss against Missouri State. And then, Coach, another thing about that game, their quarterback made their first start. Winkler made his first start against Missouri State. This week was only his second start. So how does that put your defense at a disadvantage, only having one full game tape to watch for game planning?
Well, they had played two quarterbacks. He had actually played in each of the games that they had prior to that, and really didn't change our preparation. Both quarterbacks were very good players that they had been playing. Obviously, they had gotten more confidence in Winkler, and he played a very good football game on Saturday.
Illinois State had a very good game, as unfortunately for the Leathernecks, they would win 35-21. Let's go ahead and send it out to WIU TV3 commentator Nico Hefflinger for the first half highlights.
First offensive play for Western Illinois. Norvell in the shotgun. He's going to find High C Scott for a short gain. Norvell in the shotgun. Once again, there's going to be a handoff to Nico Watson, who's going to pick up a first down. Norvell dropping back, looking to the left side, and that pass is going to be incomplete. Norvell this time now off the hands of the intended receiver. Two-back set, Norvell, quick throw, and that's going to be completed to Lance Lenore, actually incomplete. Play broken up by the ISU defense. Blake Winkler on first down, and he's going to air it out, and this pass is going to be caught by Milton Colbert almost to the 20-yard line. I formation from the 5-yard line. Winkler on a quick slant. That's going to be a touchdown to Chick Chatham. 7-0 Redbirds. Javon Williams in the game, looking to provide a spark for this Leatherneck offense. He's going to keep it on first down for a very short gain. Second down now. Williams going to hand it off to the running back Watson, who's going to try to find a little room, a nice little juke, picking up a gain of 4. Third down, Williams with a 5-receiver set, and he's going to take a big hit. Pass incomplete. Well, that'll bring up another 4th down. On first down, Winkler going to look to the outside, and he's going to complete this pass on a quick screen. Completed to Jamal Towns for Winkler, looking to the opposite side, and that's going to be another completed pass and another Redbird first down, that time Phil Dudley. Winkler, the lone man in the backfield. He's got a lot of time off his back foot. That pass is going to be completed to the tight end, Brian Athley. Winkler I formation is going to be a handoff to Koprich, and he's going to be in for the touchdown. Knee might have been down, and it looks like they're going to place this football on the 1-yard line. 3rd and goal for the Redbirds. Another handoff to Koprich, who leaps, and he is in for the touchdown. 14-0 Illinois State.
As we saw after the first half, the Leathernecks are currently down 14-0. Coach, the offense had some struggles moving the ball in the first half, and then which put some stress on the defense as they were out on the field for just the first half, 20 minutes. What are some things that you saw and some things they could improve upon for the second half?
Yeah, well, more than struggles. We got one first down in the first half, almost inexcusable, really, in terms of execution, and we got out of rhythm. Quite frankly, we were scrambling a little bit, just both from a play standpoint and even from a coaching standpoint a little bit. When things don't go well, when you have a lot of young players, it's hard to know where to go. And at halftime, we just settled everybody down, went back out really with the same game plan that we had starting the game. Illinois State had played us with a lot more man-to-man coverage than what we had anticipated, although we had anticipated that they'd play us with some man-to-man coverage. And as a result, in the second half, we just made plays and got us back, tied 21-21.
All right, well, we're going to take a quick break, but we'll come back with the second half so you can see how the Leathernecks will perform. You're watching Pigskin Preview.
Look at me. Hey.
Raymond, look at Mommy.
Maybe the light hurts his eyes.
Maybe she's just not hungry.
Maybe he can't hear us.
Maybe we're not stimulating him enough. Maybe it's a phase.
Avoiding eye contact is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back to the Pigskin Preview. As we just saw, the Leathernecks are down 14-0 at halftime. Coach, you talked a little bit about telling the players to settle down. Was there anything else you told them, or maybe that the captain told them in the locker room to kind of get them going, get them more fired up for the second half?
Well, the only thing we talked about really was the fact that we were only down 14 points. 2 touchdowns in the game of football is not a significant lead, and there was a lot of football yet to be played. Our defense has done a good job really of keeping us in the game over the first half, and we really thought we had the opportunity to make some plays, including making a play or two in the kicking game that could benefit us. And in the third quarter, we came out, we got those things done, got the game back to even, and then just couldn't quite get over the hump, which is something that we've talked about now for this week.
All right, well, let's go ahead and see the second half.
ISU running their first play of the third quarter, and that football is on the ground, and it's recovered by the Leathernecks. David McDaniel jumping on the football. Momentum has shifted for the Leathernecks at the start of the third quarter. Jonathan Rollins punching it out. First offensive play for Western Illinois, and Norvell is going to go deep, and that pass is caught by Lance Lenore. Touchdown, Western Illinois, 14-7. Single back in the backfield is Marshawn Coprich. Winkler with a hard count, and this is going to be a handoff to Coprich, who's going to have a little bit of space, cut it back to the inside, and finally brought down, but that's going to move the chains. Winkler under center, and a play-action pass, and he's going to air it out, and that's going to be caught by the big tight end, Brian Athley. Winkler in the shotgun, lone man in the backfield, a pump fake on the screen, and he's going to go deep, and that pass is going to be caught. ISU in the red zone again, I formation, handoff to Coprich, who breaks a tackle, and he is in for the touchdown. 21-7, Redbirds lead. First play for Western, that's going to be a handoff to Baker, who's going to break a tackle and pick up a first down. Pistol formation, another handoff to Baker, and he's got a nice gain again, able to be slowed down, but a nice gain on another first down run. And for the third straight play, the handoff's going to go to Baker, who's going to find a little bit of space, cut it back towards the middle, and pick up another Western Illinois first down. In the shotgun, play action pass, and he's going to find Lance Lenore for a nice gain, nice diving catch made by the freshman. Norvell looking to pass. He's going to go long. He's got Joey Borsellino for the touchdown. The third straight week that has connected. 21-14 now. 10 men on the line of scrimmage for Western. They're sending everybody, and that punt is blocked. David McDaniel got in the backfield. That punt is recovered by Western. Looks like J.C. Baker. 2 running backs set for Western. Norvell looking to throw, pump, and the throw, and that is caught by Lance Lenore. Another touchdown, barring the PAT. We got a tie ball game. Winkler, a lot of time, and he's going to go long, and a jump ball is caught by Phil Dudley to the Leatherneck 40. Winkler under center. He's looking long again, throw off the back foot, and in the corner of the end zone, pass caught by Milton Colbert. 3.5 minutes to go. Western down 7. And Norvell is going to keep it, and he's going to be tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Second and long, Norvell, and he's going to be brought down for a sack. A lot of Redbirds in the backfield. 3rd and 19, Norvell going long for Kareem Adewale, but that pass incomplete, a little bit of contact. 4th and 19, Norvell with a 5-receiver set rolling out, and he is going to throw it, and Joey Borsellino there for the catch, but that is going to be ruled incomplete. Official saying the football hit the ground. Western now hoping for a miracle comeback with just under 3 minutes left. Norvell is going to air it out long, and that pass is going to be picked off. And that'll wrap it up for the Redbirds as a long return is going to bring it into Western Illinois territory.
As we saw there, the Leathernecks lost 35-21. Let's go ahead and take a look at the stats from last weekend's game. As we see, Trenton Norvell had a much better second half. He had 9 passes completed in the second half. He finished 11 of 28 for 139 yards and 3 touchdowns. Lance Lenore, he stepped up huge, coach, 7 receptions, 105 yards, 2 touchdowns. And then David McDaniels making a lot of plays on defense, 7 tackles, a fumble recovery, and a block. And then as we talked about in the intro, Blake Winkler had a great game for him, 20 of 29, 234 yards and 2 touchdowns. And then Phil Dudley was his leading receiver with 6 receptions for 73 yards. And so, Coach, obviously we talked a little bit about it. The team came out much better in the third quarter. They were fired up. They were electric. They were causing a lot more plays. And coming back, as you said, they weren't really down a whole lot, just 2 scores. And so just talk about what happened exactly to turn around this game.
Well, it's amazing. Football is a game of momentum, and right away in the first half, we force a turnover, and on the first play we score, and all of a sudden Illinois State, who had all of the momentum in the first half, and at the end of the first half, was on their heels, and we had the momentum, and as a result, our next offensive drive, we drive the length of the field. We block a punt on the next possession, put that ball into the end zone as well, and it's anybody's game at 21-21. And at that time, I really said to myself, I think the next team that scores is going to win the football game. And we had a couple of chances. When we had the football tied 21-21, that we didn't put together a drive, didn't execute as well in some third down situations. As we need to move the ball against the good defensive teams we're going to face here the rest of the way out.
And one of the players that really helped out with the Leathernecks to get them back to tie the game up later on was David McDaniels. He had, as I said, the block punt. He had the fumble recovery. Talk about him and his play, his leadership, because he's a veteran on this Leatherneck defense.
He's been one of the solid contributors that we've had on our defensive side of the ball. A guy with experience, played a lot last year. Defensively, that's where we have our experience, and it was nice to see him make a couple of plays there. That punt block was something that we'd worked on during the week, something that we felt we could get if we got the ball on the right hash mark and got him kicking the ball the right direction. It was really nice to see that play be executed in practice time.
Besides David McDaniel stepping up, the Leathernecks also had several freshmen step up on offense. Quarterback Trenton Norvell and wide receivers Joey Borsellino and Lance Lenore all had huge games in the second half for the Leathernecks. Trenton Norvell threw for 3 touchdowns. Joey Borsellino caught one of those, and Lance Lenore got the other 2 while amassing over 105 yards and 7 receptions in the game. This week, the trio are the Pigskin Previews featured players of the week. Against Illinois State, the Leathernecks offense struggled moving the ball down the field. However, the first play of the second half, the defense set the tone and fired the offense up, turning the game around.
I think it was that first turnover coming out, and then just going in there and taking a shot the first play and trying to get momentum back on our side in the second half.
It really wasn't that we made that much changes offensively. We just came out the second half and we were running the same plays we were running in the first half, but we just executed them. Everyone did their job, and I mean, you could see in that third quarter that our offense, how good our offense could be and how explosive we could be. I mean, we scored 21 points in under 10 minutes, or was it, or something like that.
We never gave up as the play went on. As the second half came over. Actually, High C came over there and talked to us. Gave us a little motivation. So it kind of all pumped us up to strive and to keep fighting and not give up.
These 3 freshmen have been key for Western Illinois' offense. Trenton Norvell, being a redshirt freshman, he had the ability to sit out a year while at Cincinnati and get the feel of Division I football. Although for the 2 true freshman receivers, Lance Lenore and Joey Borsellino, they did not have that luxury. Despite all the disadvantages, though, these 2 receivers have broke out and from game 1 have been instrumental for the team.
I'm proud of it. But I knew coming in after camp and I wasn't redshirted and I was playing, me and Lance, they told us we were going to be playing this year. And it took me a little bit, but after the first few games, it just sort of hit me that we're not freshmen anymore, and that with this offense, with how much we're playing, we need to be a big part of it.
It's a great experience. It's also a blessing. So I'm thankful to be out there with my team and to fight early. So I'm just looking forward to this year and the next 4 years.
Quarterbacks and receivers have to have a good chemistry to trust each other on the field to make plays. For Norvell, Borsellino, and Lenore, All being freshmen, all have helped them in creating such a good relationship off the field since they can relate to each other, which also carries on the field and helps them make their big plays.
It helped us out, just getting here the first year, and just like I said, we're already on the same page, and we're always hanging out with each other, and we've had the same amount of games, all of us this season. So not one of us has played more snaps than the other.
We click. We hang out after practice. All that stuff. We get along and do stuff together. So it's all with experience and being with each other. It'll work out for itself.
With me, Lance, and Trent, yeah, you see that handshake. Me and Trent made that. Actually, we came into camp and just met each other for the first time, and I make a joke with him a little bit all the time, saying I only hang out with him because he's the quarterback and I want him to throw me the ball. But no, I just mess with him. But yeah, we had a connection, and when I just talk to people, and people like after the game be like, "Your quarterback, you and number 7 are like all freshmen." I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "You guys are gonna be really good in these next years coming up."
We all kind of know what each other's thinking. Everyone kind of gets each other. Like sometimes I'll look over, give Lance a look, and he'll know the ball will be coming to him depending on the matchup. But just like that. Same with Joey. We're always hanging out and stuff. So we're always on the same page.
Another advantage the trio have being freshmen is that they can all grow up and learn together at Western Illinois, making the future for Leathernecks on offense a very dangerous thought for opposing teams.
I'm excited. Our team's young anyways, but us three coming in already just being freshmen. We're all young, but if we're making plays now, I'm very excited for the future.
Right now we're focused on this year, but it's sort of hard not to look at it with how many young players on offense we have just making plays and playing right now. With, all three freshmen right now making big plays in all these games. It's something to look forward to, and I think everyone should be excited for the future.
We could be very dangerous in the next 3 to 4 years. Next 3 years. So it's a great experience, and we'll have a lot of years under our belt and experience, so a lot comes along with that.
This weekend for the Leathernecks is homecoming. With Joey Borsellino and Lance Sonor being true freshmen, this will be their biggest game at home so far. Although their 2 receivers this season have been at their best in big games. Against UNLV and at Illinois State's homecoming, Borsellino scored a touchdown in each of those games. And Lance Sonor had a touchdown against Minnesota and also scored twice at Illinois State's homecoming.
It's a bit different. It's a lot different than high school homecoming, not having to worry about a dance or anything like that. But I really don't know what to expect, to be honest. I'll see come this weekend. I'm pretty sure I'll be excited for the game no matter what, but I hear there's going to be a lot of people here, which just gets me more excited.
I just want to give the fans a great show and give the Leathernecks a win.
Coach, as we saw in the game, Trent Norvell, Joey Borsellino, Lance Sonor, they all have really stepped up in the game last week, and then in the season as a whole, they've really stepped up and proven that they're not just freshmen, that these guys can play more like veterans. And so can you just talk about their contribution this season? Obviously, Lance Sonor, 20 catches already, leads the team in receptions. Joey and him both have 3 touchdowns for the Leathernecks. And then Trent Norvell recently was just named top 20 watch list for the Jerry Rice Award. Just talk about these guys and their performance already as freshmen.
Pretty unique to have that many true freshmen that are contributing on one side of the football, and particularly in this league. And those 3 guys come from different backgrounds, but both come from highly successful high school programs. Trenton obviously had the year where he was redshirted at Cincinnati, but both Lance and Joey Borsellino on teams that won state championships in high school, and they've been able to come in and hit the ground running. I think after 6 games, you probably don't look at them as freshmen anymore. They're looked at more like experienced players, and we hope that they continue to get better, which by playing more together, typically receivers and quarterbacks have the ability to do that.
And then with them being freshmen, how does it help their chemistry? Because obviously Joey seems very connected with Trent Norvell. They have their little hand clap thing they do after each touchdown. Lance has already made a big impact. So I guess talk a little bit about their chemistry as freshmen, how that's really helped them grow together.
Well, it's great to have that combination when you have guys in the same class. They have the opportunity to be together for 4 years and develop those connections. Receivers and quarterbacks have to think a lot. We do ask our receivers to adjust routes a lot based on coverage. They have to see the same things that the quarterbacks do, and when you have people that are on the same page, it allows you to be more productive in your passing game. And the more you play together, the more you can be on the same page. So having the ability to play together for 4 years is a real positive thing.
And how exciting is that for you as a coaching staff to have these players? Obviously, it's this season now, but yeah, you can't help but just think a little bit about how in 4 years these guys are all going to be seniors all together and have those 3 years of experience. How exciting is that for you, for coaching staff, to have these guys come in like that?
Well, when you have young players that contribute, it's good for the future of your program, even though in some cases when you have guys contribute, you know, maybe it's because you don't have depth at that position. I really think in this case it was because the young men that came in, you know, were at a level that was better than what we had in our program currently, and have stepped into kind of the full-time playing roles at those positions. But it does bode well for the future, and if we can continue to attract the kinds of young players that can come in and hit the ground running and play early on, we've got a chance to get better as a program rapidly.
Talking about the future, in the future here, we're going to take a quick break, but after that commercial break, we're going to go ahead and head to the 2-minute drill with Gino Durley. Will I be able to stump him on a couple questions I have for him? Guess we'll have to find out. You're watching Pigskin Preview.
If you drive buzzed, it could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back to the Pigskin Preview. We're here with Gino Durley, junior defensive lineman for the Leathernecks. How are you today?
I'm fine. I'm glad to be here, Andrew.
Glad to have you here. And we are doing the 2-minute drill. If you have not seen it yet, it's where we ask as many questions as we can to our special player, and this week it's Gino. And so, you ready, Gino, to get started?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, the first question here is, you've had quite the breakout year already this season. You have 5.5 tackles for a loss, and 2.5 are sacks. What has been some of the factors that really made it for you to have this breakout year?
There's quite a few factors. One being that in the coaching of Coach Entz. He's done a really good job of preparing us week to week and having us ready. Another is Coach Ward, creating the game plan to allow us a breakout year. Ultimately, I have to credit the team as a whole. We have done a pretty good job of playing together, and when we're clicking on all cylinders, everything seems to go right.
And then I notice every time you make a big play, you have a little celebration. What's your favorite celebration to do?
My favorite celebration is probably pointing to the fans.
You point at my camera a couple times.
Yeah. Incorporating the fans into the game and allowing them to, in a way, feel some of that emotion, I feel is pretty important.
And then, do you have a special one reserved for a touchdown?
I do, but I won't share it with you guys.
You won't share it? We'll have to wait and find out. All right, well, I hope to see a fumble recovery for homecoming this weekend then. What is something that most people don't know about you?
Something that most people don't know about me is I'm a pretty good golf player.
Oh, yeah?
I play a pretty good game of golf. In high school, I was a pretty talented golfer on our golf team.
Oh, okay, I did not know that. What's your major?
My major is communication.
And then what do you plan to do after here at Western?
I have a focus on real estate. I'm interested in going into real estate. With that, if I'm fortunate, I'll be able to take a shot at the next level. But ultimately, I would like to do something that surrounds sports. I'm an athlete, and I like to do whatever I can to help the next athlete be as successful as I've been.
And then if you could play any other position besides the defensive line, what would you play?
That's a tough question. If I could play any other position aside from defensive line, it would probably be middle linebacker.
Middle linebacker? All right, well, that's all the time we have for Gino Durley. Thank you for coming on our show this week. Pleasure to have you on.
Pleasure to be here.
And stay tuned, as up next we'll take a look at the Missouri Valley Conference. All the teams this week all had their chance against a fellow Missouri Valley team, and so you want to check out and see who won. North Dakota State, they might have lost. It was a close game. Going in the fourth quarter, they were down. So you want to stay tuned and find out what happened. You're watching Pigskin Preview.
I'm one unlucky guy. The chance of being involved in a robbery is 1 in 757. The chances of being struck by lightning 1 in 750,000.
Please fasten your seatbelts for unexpected turbulence.
The chances of being a victim in an airline crash? 1 in 29 million. Hey, could I get some peanuts? The chances of being involved in a car crash are far greater than lightning strikes and plane crashes. And if you are texting while driving, your risk of crash increases 23 times. Now, I may be an unlucky guy, but I don't have to be part of that statistic, and neither do you. Drive responsibly.
Welcome back to the Pigskin Preview. Let's go and take a look at the Missouri Valley scores from last weekend. As we talked about, Western Illinois unfortunately lost to Illinois State 35-21. Southern Illinois won at Brookings, South Dakota against South Dakota State 27-24. Missouri State narrowly lost to South Dakota at the Dakota Dome. That's South Dakota's first Missouri Valley Conference victory since they have joined the league last year. Youngstown State beat Indiana State, and interesting weather, a lot of delays in that game, so glad they finally got through it, and with a score of 35-24, Youngstown State would win it. Northern Iowa almost was able to knock off number 1 North Dakota State. Unfortunately, though, North Dakota State, what seems to be as always, came back in the fourth quarter and won again, 24-23. And then looking to the standings, a lot of teams messing each other up, a lot of 1-1 teams as we see here. But first off, we'll go with North Dakota State and Youngstown State, each at 2-0, but a ton of teams coach at 1-1, which really shows how the depth is here in the Missouri Valley Conference. Western Illinois, Southern Illinois, Illinois State, South Dakota, Missouri State are all 1-1, and then Northern Iowa, Indiana State, who just played their first conference game last weekend, are both 0-1, and then South Dakota State off to a surprising 0-2 start, as they are still in the top 15. They're a very good club, and we'll talk about them a little bit later. But moving on to the previews for this weekend, South Dakota will play Indiana State. Missouri State will travel to the Fargo Dome to take on North Dakota State and see if they can get their chance at upsetting the Bison. Youngstown State will play Illinois State. Northern Iowa will go against Southern Illinois. And then coach, finally at Western Illinois, will play South Dakota State this weekend. And this weekend it's homecoming. It's your first homecoming as a Leatherneck. It's some of the players, such as Trenton Norvell, a lot of your starters' first homecoming. And so just talk a little bit about how exciting it is just for you guys to have such a big game here at Hanson Field and what you think it'll be like.
Well, homecoming games are always, I think, special to play just because of the fact that they typically are going to draw a great crowd. You have a lot of alumni that if they come back for one game a year, it's going to be for the homecoming game. And so it brings that sense of pride that you hope your team plays with throughout the entire campus community, and hopefully something we can build upon. South Dakota State, and you talk about the strength of the league, they're ranked the top 15 in the country, and they haven't won a game in the league after 2 weeks, but that shows you how good the league is. They're an outstanding football team, exceptionally well coached, fundamentally sound, have the best running back in the league. They're going to be a great test for our program, and it's a game that we're going to have to really play close to the best and obviously play better than we did last week against Illinois State.
And speaking a little bit more about South Dakota State, you talked about the running back, Zach Center. He's a phenomenal running back against Nebraska, 200 yards. But besides the offense for South Dakota State, they also have a pretty good defense. It's a little underrated because their offense is such a strong force. Maybe talk about their defense a little bit.
Well, defensively, they're a very experienced club. 8 senior starters on defense, and when you're starting 8 seniors on defense, chances are you're going to be awfully good when you have that much experience. They're athletic, physical. They've been like us, been very opportunistic in terms of generating turnovers, and so we've got to find ways to control the football, to move it, and better than what we did against Illinois State on a consistent basis.
South Dakota State, as he talked about, is one of the leading teams in the conference in turnovers, so that will be something to watch out for. But if you're free, the Leathernecks will play here at Hanson Field at 3 p.m., so make sure you come check them out and support them. And it will be homecoming, so we're hoping for a ton of people. I'm sure there will be a ton of people, so you will not want to miss out. That's all the time we have for you. For head coach Bob Nielson, I'm Andrew Bacon. Thanks for watching.